Hello, guys. Welcome to Tarot Space, and this is going to be the yet another new video. And the topic that we are choosing today is very, very important. Let me just give you a brief about what exactly we are going to do. Let me be very honest. Whoever is watching this video, you landed onto this video for a reason, and you have been trying to understand why exactly you have been feeling similar way in a similar way and you have been in a similar pattern. So the question has always been there within you, but this exactly is going to be the answer. This video is going to be the answer for you. Why exactly there are repetitive patterns of your life, why exactly there are certain things that you are not able to get rid of. So this is going to be what exactly your inner child, what exactly your childhood is trying to communicate to you, the inner child energy. What is it that you really need to know? Because a lot of people keep telling you that whatever you're going through is basically your inner child wounds and you need to heal your inner child. Now, a lot of people do not understand what exactly is inner child. Inner child is our inner self, the childhood uh, that we have been through. If we have a traumatic childhood, then our inner child is very suppressed. There are things that we were supposed to do in our childhood and we were not able to do. And for example, all those suppressed emotions that we had in our childhood, those get accumulated within ourselves, and then things get really, really bad later on. So that is basically our inner child, and we are going to communicate to our inner child. So all you guys have grown up and you have realized for a fact that you guys have certain traumas, you guys have certain repetitive patterns, you guys have certain things that you're not able to deal with. And if you are someone like that, then you have landed onto this right video. Let me be very honest, we are going to do two piles here because that is what I have been channelizing. So the two piles that we are going to do here is going to be, one is 22 and second is 33. Whoever whichever number you get attracted towards, you can definitely choose it, and that is going to be your reading. So for choosing it, you have to just take a deep breath in and release. Whichever number you resonate with, whichever number you feel like this number is something that is calling me, and I feel that this is going to give me the answers of my questions, then you have to definitely choose that number. So, two numbers 11 and 22, you can definitely take your time. I have removed two cards. I've not removed much cards. I'm going to do a proper in depth reading in this video. So, it's not that I have already removed cards, I've removed only two cards to understand the energy of you guys, because inner child reading that I'm doing is not something that everyone does. It's very, very depth, it's very brutal. And not forgetting to mention, I'm going to do a very psychic reading, so I'm going to talk to your inner child, and I'm definitely going to make sure that you get your answers. You get answers to all the questions that you haven't been haven't been answered since your childhood. Okay, so you can take your time and let's dive into the video. So people who have chosen number 11, let's talk about them first. I'm going to keep number 22 aside. So number 11, when we talk about number 11, the first card that I have received here is the Tower in reverse. So when I look in this energy, I feel when you were small, when you were young, everything happened very suddenly. You were born in a very chaotic family. Let me be very honest. You were always surprised. Like you didn't know what exactly is going to happen in the next stage of your life, but everything came to you as a surprise. Like you were just not ready for things and everything came up to you, so you were always very chaotic most of the time. You didn't know whether things are going to be right in this particular time or things are going to get brutal, because everything came up to you unexpectedly. I definitely see your life and your childhood being very unexpected. You you were not aware about that person who's going to come and talk to you. You were not aware that your mom and dad are going to have a fight this brutal in the next particular hour. So everything was very sudden for you, is what I'm sensing here. I don't know why, but there is some kind of relationship uh, of yours with fire element. There is a fire element, and I see a fire burning. It can be fire burning within yourself, it can be you watching a person burn. So there is a fear of fire, fear of burning. Maybe in childhood you got burnt way too many times, or maybe you saw someone getting burnt. So this is some kind of trauma that is again and again picturizing, and again maybe you got burnt, maybe definitely you got burnt, you have that iron mark in your hand, or maybe you have some burning marks in your on your body. So there is a burning thing that is coming from your childhood, and because of which there is a lot of suppressive anger. This is completely channelized right now. The spirit guides told me because you were burnt in your childhood, not completely, but there are parts of you that were burnt in your childhood. So there is a lot of suppressed anger within you. You feel very angry, but you were not able to express your emotion or express your anger in your childhood, because of which you have a lot of hidden and suppressed anger. So you have anger issue. People who have chosen number 11, you have anger issues. You have issues related to not expressing your anger. Whenever you get angry on someone, you fear showing it, because you feel showing it is going to result to something really bad. So you'd suppress it because you are used to suppressing it since your childhood. So you never showed your anger, basically, not even in your childhood, or not even now you show your anger. Even if you show your anger, the anger comes out very very frustratingly, like very very badly. It comes out like a tornado is something that I am sensing here. So when I again look at this card, I feel that I don't know why, but I'm sensing that people who chose number 11, let me be very honest, because I feel that you guys always thought that someone is watching you. You were a very dramatic child because you were raised in a very dramatic background and dramatic surroundings. You were very dramatic. You had a very keen knowledge towards acting, and you wanted to be an actor or actress, is what I'm sensing. And you had certain kind of dreams in your life, definitely, which were not completely fulfilled. So your inner child is completely not happy with what you are today, because your inner child expected you to be someone else, but you are someone else right now. So this is definitely one communication that I'm getting from your inner child. Second communication that I'm sensing here is that since childhood you thought that someone is watching you. You had a childhood wherein again you were a people pleaser since your childhood, because you seeked a lot of attention. Not only attention, I definitely see you not being around with your family members or not being around with your parents more often. So I don't see you being pampered, I don't see you being loved. I see you being very neglected. I see you being very alone. I see you being very lonely in your childhood. I see you being very attention seeker kind of a person. Not only this, when we talk about your schooling and when we talk about your um, studies, I don't see it happening really nicely. I definitely sense here that this has actually affected your schooling and your friendships as well. So you never had good friendship because everything was so unexpected most of the time in your life that even the friendships ended unexpectedly. The way you actually thought that the person was, I don't think so that it actually happened like that. So most of your childhood you were very surprised, oh my god this happened, oh my god this happened, oh my god this also happened, oh my god this also happened. Whatever you thought of doing was done by someone else. Whatever you chose was chosen by someone else. So there was a lot of trauma events in your childhood. I definitely sense there is, when I talk about your inner child is telling me that what do I talk about? Everything in my childhood was traumatic. It was like you had to take care of yourself. You had to take care of your emotion. Majorly your emotions were so much suppressive because you were already from a family which was emotionally very much broken already. So your family was very much emotionally broken, and because of that you did not express your emotions. Because of that you did not talk about what you were feeling in your childhood, because you did not get time to do that. You did not get time to do that is because already there was a lot of chaos. Already you were very surprised by your family. So I think that you got a habit of suppressing things. You got a habit of suppressing things, and you got a habit of suppressing your emotions. That is the reason your throat chakra is also blocked. I don't know why, but I'm sensing this. The spirit guides are telling me, they are communicating to me, and they are telling me that the throat plays a very important role in your life. Whoever is watching this and whoever is chosen number 11, I definitely sense you had a dream or you had something related to singing. You had to do that. Maybe you are already a singer, or maybe if you're not, then definitely understand for a fact that you have suppressed a lot of your emotions. A lot of your emotions is suppressed, and your inner child is completely unhappy right now and very surprised. Basically, when I talk about your inner child, when I see your emotions, let's just understand the emotions of your inner child right now. Right now, when your inner child is looking at you, what exactly is your inner child's expressions? Pull out one single card. What exactly is the expression of your inner child? Okay. So, your inner child is actually very proud of you, if you can see this. I don't know why it is not getting focused. Okay, so it's not getting focused. So, I'm feeling very proud. Your inner child is like, because you had a very traumatic childhood and you were a person who was very shy, who was very nervous, who was very scared. And right now, when your inner child is seeing you bloom, when your inner child is seeing you go through a lot of things, your inner child is telling me that, they are very proud. See, you went through a lot of things. Your inner child went through a lot of things. Your inner child went through disgust. Your inner child went through a lot of embarrassment. Your inner child went through no kind of love. Your unloved. Your inner child went through a lot of scary feeling. But right now your inner child is very proud of yourself, not because you did not basically do what you actually wanted to do in your childhood, but basically you have overcome a lot of things. You have made people realize that they were wrong about you, and you have made something about yourself. You have done a lot of things. You have actually overcome a lot of things from your childhood. And so your inner child is completely proud, and your inner child is like, I, bottom of the deck energy. And somewhere the inner child is also frustrated. Why exactly the inner child is frustrated? We'll talk about that. But yeah, right now, when we talk about your inner child, the inner child feels very excited. And the inner child is excited because it has a lot of things to talk to you. It has a lot of things to tell you. So we are going to definitely talk about it, what exactly your inner child is trying to communicate to you. But I hope that whatever I said right now resonated with you. This is what I'm sensing through your inner child. You had a very unexpected inner child. Most of the time you were very surprised. You were raised in a very chaotic surrounding. There was chaos a lot of times. Okay, and I see you being alone. I see you self-victimizing yourself. I see you being very lonely. I see you being very depressed. I see you being very helpless in your childhood, and I see you most of the time alone. I see you dealing with all the emotions. I see you dealing with all the um, disgust all by yourself. You tried to please a lot of people, but at the end of the day, nothing worked. It was you versus you, is what I'm sensing here. Let's see what exactly your inner child is wanting to communicate to you, what exactly you want to tell to people who have chosen number 11. Inner child, what exactly? Pull out one single card. Two cards came out. Okay, so you guys have a very, very bad cheating wound. Let me be very honest, because you were betrayed a lot of time in your in your childhood. You were betrayed by your friends, you were betrayed by your family members, you were betrayed by your lovers, whoever you were in a relationship with. I'm not talking about that childhood where you guys are not in a relationship, but definitely teenage times wherein you explored your love life and you had very, very bad failed relationships, because first relationship takes care of the entire scenario of the relationship in the future. So your inner child has a very bad cheating wound, has a very bad betrayal wound that you need to fix, because a lot of people betrayed you. They betrayed you most of the time, and you always attracted people who were deceptive, people who were not honest, people who were liars, and people who were um, not good, people who wanted to come to you to use you. Okay, so this is a very big wound that your inner child is trying to tell you, that you need to heal this. You need to heal the wound of getting betrayed. You always fear getting betrayed. Most of the time, you have this, and this is because this comes to your inner child, this comes to your childhood, because most of the time you were betrayed. A lot of people betrayed you. And I don't know why, but your childhood surrounded in love and relationships. Like when we talk about your family, your family had failed relationships. Not completely failed, but your mom and dad had a very brutal relationship in the childhood. And it can also happen that your mom and dad had extramarital affair when we talk about 11, pile number 11, which you know about. And you have seen that betrayal in your family itself, and that is the reason that this wound is that dug deeper within you, because you know that it, you have seen it in your family, then how it can't happen with you. So you are scared of it, you're very scared of it, and you you have that anger as well related to your family members, or for doing this, because that has ruined your childhood, that has given you a very huge trauma, and that has given you a very bad wound. Also in your childhood, because of this, you surrounded yourself with a lot of feelings, with a lot of emotions, and you always craved for love, and you seek love a lot in your childhood, and because of which you were always betrayed. So this is one thing that I'm sensing here. What else does the inner child want to tell? When we talk about your inner child, I feel that you started working very early, and you always wanted to do something in your life. So you were so much around what exactly should I be doing, what exactly should I be working on, what is something that I really like. So you had a confusion related to your career, that is very obvious. But you dealt with a lot of sleepless nights, you dealt with a lot of molestation, you dealt with a lot of sexual assault. There can be assault happening through your family itself. If you're a female, then definitely inside your family only you were assaulted very closely. A lot of things happened at night which you were very scared of, and that is the reason you are very scared of nights. When darkness, there is a lot of fear within you when it comes to darkness. And when you were small, you had this issue with sleep. whenever you went to sleep, I feel that was the time wherein everything came in your mind, all the kind of traumas, all the kind of hurt, all the kind of betrayals and everything came in your mind, and you had difficulty in sleeping. You dealt with a lot of depression and anxiety issues. So everything, every mental health related issue started at a very early age for you guys, is what I'm sensing here. Okay, so right now I'm not going to dig that deep with your inner child, because I'll definitely come up with one more video on it. I'm going to keep doing it because we are going to keep ourselves updated related to our inner child communication. But here right now the first priority to be kept related to healing your inner child, for people who have chosen number 11, I think you should work towards healing your betrayal wound. So you need to work towards doing that first. This is the first thing that your inner child wants you to heal. Then we are going to move towards the second, third, fourth in the different video. But right now I feel your inner child is just not opening up much. They are trying to tell you that this wound is very deep and this needs to be cleared first, and then we are going to move towards the smaller wounds. So this is first thing that you really need to work upon. That is betrayal wound, that is cheating wound, and that comes not only in a love affair kind of a relationship but also in a family relationship. This is what I'm getting from your inner child. Now let's move ahead and talk about people who have chosen number 22. Now, when we talk about people who have chosen number 22, I feel like your whole childhood went around being very upset. You were very upset most of the time. You had issues existing. You had an existential crisis. I don't know why, but this is what I'm sensing here. You you felt very left out most of the time. Most of the time you felt that no one is bothered to look at me, and you were into your own energy. People who have chosen number 22, inner child feeling, what exactly is the emotion of the inner child right now? Okay, so you went through, when we talk about energy and inner child emotions, when you were small, what kind of emotions you felt most of the time? You were very upset and you were very much loved by your family. You were very much loved, is what I'm sensing. You can be either a last born child or a first born child, but 11 number seems to be pile number 11. Most of them might have chosen who are first born child, is what I'm sensing, because there has to be certain karmas involved here. But then when we sense here, it is a very young energy. I definitely sense that you can be the last born child, most probably. Okay, so if you were the last born child and if you've chosen number 22, or the you can be middle born child as well, then most of the time you were very upset, you were neglected. Most of the time you were very loved. Okay, neglected in stuffs related to materialistic things. You wanted a lot of things but you were not given that because of the financial issues that your family went through. But when we talk about love, then you were showered with a lot of love. You were given a lot of attention, is what I'm sensing here. Because of that attention, there was a lot of controlling that you went through in your childhood, because of which you were most of the time very scared. The entire childhood that you have gone through, you were scared. When we talk about pile number 11, they were majorly surprised that I don't know what is going to happen next. But here you were very scared. You were all the time scared. You knew that there is going to be something that is going to scare me and that is going to happen now. So you were mostly scared and mostly very disgusted because you saw a lot of things in a very early age. Maybe things related to sex, maybe things related to uh, molestation, maybe things related to body shaming. A lot of things happened with you in a very early age. So you were most of the time very scared and most of the time very disgusted. I I see that you had a lot of good financial background. People who have chosen number 22, your childhood went through very great background, and you never had issues that you were not given something that you wanted. You were having a lot of things, but emotionally you were very disbalanced. Emotionally you had a lot of issues here. What exactly the inner child wants to communicate for people who have chosen number 22? Okay. So, when we talk about number 22 people, I definitely sense here that you were definitely neglected, but you were not appreciated at all. You lacked a lot of appreciation. You wanted to be appreciated most of the time. You were like, whatever you did was not appreciated, and people did not notice it, because of which you were lacking a lot of appreciation, and you felt worthless about yourself. You felt not great about yourself. So your childhood went through this. So when we talk about what is the bigger wound inside you, and that is lack of appreciation. Because of appreciation, and right now also you are dealing with this thing, because you do not get appreciated, you land on being very depressed or traumatized most of the time. And in the relationship also, you'll have an issue that you will not be appreciated, and because of this you'll have relationship issues. So I would definitely suggest, when we talk to your inner child, the inner child actually was very very stubborn. You are a stubborn child, let me be very honest, and you're very introvert. You will not open to people. You are a good listener. You will listen to a lot of people, but you will not tell your things to anyone. Okay. So that is the reason it took a lot of time for me to get one single card for you. And the card that I've received is Seven of Pentacles. I don't know why, but I see that you have been working hard. You have been doing a lot of things, but then you were not appreciated. You were legit not appreciated. You were like, whatever I do, I'm not appreciated at all. So this is a very bigger wound as compared to any other wound that you're going through right now. So when we talk about there is some kind of work happening here. So yes. So when we talk about what exactly your inner child is feeling, then I definitely sense here that you were body shamed, you were neglected, you have a wound of not being appreciated that you need to work towards. So this is something that I'm getting for people who have chosen number 22. I'm not going to select any more cards, because that is what you have to work on currently with yourself. And yeah, that's it. I will make a second video. Okay. So I'm going to, sorry for the noise, but I'm going to make a second video wherein I'm going to again communicate with your inner child and tell you what is the second step for your healing, inner child healing. So the first step for people who have chosen number 11 is to heal your betrayal wound, and for people who have chosen number 22 is to heal your appreciation wound. Okay, these are the two wounds that you need to work towards. Then we are going to talk about something else in the next video. Let me know in the comment section if it resonated, and do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.